Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the show. The Atheist Experience is live November 2nd. And we're going to start with Chuck, I believe it is. Are you there, Chuck?
Yes.
Hey, thanks for waiting. How are you doing today?
Just fine.
All right.
Yeah, I just wanted, today I saw a television program on the History Channel, and it was called How the Earth Was Made. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that one?
I haven't, no.
I think it was the latest, it was their latest presentation of over 100 years of discovery about our planet.
Okay.
And it put the age of the Earth at 4.5 billion years. And it was an excellent show. Plenty of accepted scientific fact about the Earth.
You know, that is encouraging to me to hear, because I've been worried for so many years that the History Channel has been descending into what I would call the pseudoscience channel. When you're
on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you know, you're going to have some crap.
And you got to get those ratings in, which means sometimes pandering to the beliefs.
But I want to suggest that everybody see this, you know, if you're interested in that kind of thing, and especially anybody who is considering this intelligent design. Mm-hmm. I think people who haven't considered what is going on with this intelligent design scam, especially parents, they should be aware of what is happening. The way I see it is the church is trying to rewrite history. And I know that all they're saying now is they want their theory to be considered in the public schools.
It would be nice if they had a theory to consider.
But that is just so they can get their foot in the door of the public schools.
Oh, yes.
And any responsible parent should be outraged about this. The church knows it can't change an adult mind, so they're going after our children. Even teachers should be outraged, and especially science teachers. You know, how can a responsible teacher teach science all week long and then go to church on Sunday?
Well, you know, some people do manage it. You know, Kenneth Miller, who is one of the foremost experts on evolution in the world, is Catholic, and he finds a way to reconcile his beliefs with his absolute fidelity to scientific, accuracy and truth when it comes to his expertise on evolution. So, in that regard, fine. But when it comes to, you know, Kenneth Miller would be completely on the same page with you in terms of the religious beliefs, the religious answer. Really, for one thing, there's no alternate theory there coming from their side, and what belongs in science is science. Science class is not Sunday school; it's science class.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But see, up until now, the church has not been trying to get into the public schools.
Well, I would disagree with you there.
I would disagree.
I mean, they've always, you know, had their Sundays, but now they want to get in there and start trying to mold the minds of our children.
But that actually, Chuck, has been going on. I mean, remember Murray versus Curley? You know, Madeline Murray O'Hare's big, court case in 1962 was, you know, up until that point, public schools in America had obligatory recited prayer.
Yeah,
you know,
I remember.
And that was so you really have had this desire to blur that line between separation of church and state, and have that kind of religious instruction just sort of, kind of woven in with the regular schooling, just so that it's there, and hopefully it's woven in such a way that you don't really notice. And so I think they're really, it's not a recent battle in terms of this whole thing of the church trying to move into the public schools. It really has been going on a while, and this is just the latest. This is the latest battleground. Okay?
Exactly.
There's been the school.
It's time to stop them again. Anyway, I feel very strongly about that.
I'm glad you do, and I hope you speak out with the SBOE, State Board of Education hearings coming up.
Yeah, and in fact, didn't the State Board of Education didn't they vote on some decision here just a couple of weeks ago?
I think I'll have to find out the exact information of what was done. Yes, here's what they did. They chose their panel of experts to review the science curriculum. And 3 of them are, there's 6 names on it, and 3 of them are hardline ID supporters, including one dude who's actually from the Discovery Institute. He's a rep with that organization.
Well, not only that, but one of the guys that they chose on that panel actually contributed to a textbook that may end up being considered as part of this. So there's a huge conflict of interest here.
Yeah.
So
it's the new Creationist textbook, which is replacing of pandas and people because of, the lid got blown off of
Right.
pandas and people.
Yeah.
What a fraud that was. So now they've done they've repackaged that, and they put out a new textbook which has the, cleverly deceptive title of Exploring Evolution.
Yeah.
But which is, the usual, McDonald's menu of creationist canards, and
and what is it? And I mean, it's accepted scientific fact that the planet Earth is 4.5 billion years old, and they said today in that program that they've been examining this and debating this for over 100 years, and it's accepted. And so intelligent design says what? That God created the universe 6,000 years ago?
See, they don't use the G word, because you have to remember, the whole purpose of the intelligent design movement as a political movement has been to couch a religious alternative in what is sort of scientific-sounding lingo. They want to get around what's called the lemon test, what has, with the decisions that, Supreme Court decisions that have prevented what used to be called creationism and then creation science.
They're saying that the whole universe is only 6,000 years old. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, that's based on one of the young Earth creationists' attempts at dating the Earth based on, I guess they're using genealogies from the Old Testament.
From Genesis and right.
Well,
although the intelligent...
you said younger, like kindergarten?
Well, no.
Young Earth creationists.
Yeah, there are two versions
it sounds like anybody who would come up with that would be in kindergarten.
People have spent an extremely ridiculous amount of time coming up with how old the Earth has to be based on these genealogies.
Because the whole point of the exercise, of course, is to defend religious beliefs from the encroachment of these inconvenient scientific facts that come along and take the wind out of their sails. Actually, most of the intelligent design crowd, however, aren't necessarily young Earthers. They're not of the it's only 6,000 to 10,000 year old
Right.
camp.
Some of them are old Earth creationists, so they'll accept the 4.5 billion years, but they still think God did it.
And it's interesting this sort of rhetorical legerdemain they do to get there, because they'll say, oh well, the 7 days of the creation. The young Earth creationists say, well, that was a literal 7-day week, which is kind of stupid, because without an Earth going around the sun at the time at the rate that it does, why assume that? Why was there a 7-day week? I mean, what would have been the basis for that? Right?
Yeah.
The Venusian week is different. So why?
In this program, I mean, there was no intelligent design to the formation of the Earth at all. I mean, it's just strictly formed by what just happened to be taking place at the time.
Well, I'm glad
on a massive scale. Anyway, I think that any responsible parent or teacher needs to really get involved here, because this is, it's time to slam the door on the church again.
And all right, definitely.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
You.